Good evening, I'm Alessio, and tonight we're charting a transformative waypoint in space exploration and commercial infrastructure, the launch of SpaceX's latest Falcon 9 mission carrying the tech demonstrator Haven Demo along with 17 other satellites, a move poised to accelerate the era of private space stations, orbital data centers, and the evolving aerospace economy. Space. This mission, designated Bandwagon 4, lifted off from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and marked the Falcon 9's 140th flight of the year, a milestone that itself signals the volume and velocity now embedded in commercial spaceflight. Facebook, the primary payload, Haven Demo, is described by its developer Vast Space LLC as the Pathfinder for its planned commercial station, Haven 1, a structure built for private astronauts, research platforms, and low Earth orbit operations. Vast Space. The significance cuts across technology, business, infrastructure, and investment. On the technological front, this tap-off from government-led missions to private enterprise signals a shift in who builds, who owns, and who profits from orbit. Engineering a space station that serves non-government users means a new value chain: station design, launch services, habitat operations, logistics, and commercial utilization. That reveals a larger narrative. Space is no longer just frontier, it's infrastructure. From a financial and investment lens, milestones like this invite a deeper look. If private stations become viable in the next few years, the addressable market expands. Tourism, research, manufacturing in zero-G, media production, data center hosting in orbit. Investors must ask, which companies will control modules, who will provide transport, how will clients access orbit, and what is the margin profile when you factor in insurance, logistics, and reusability? The launch of multiple payloads alongside Haven Demo shows SpaceX and its rideshare partners are already building the ecosystem. Operationally, it also raises interesting questions. Hosting a space station involves constant servicing, resupply missions, station keeping, debris avoidance, life support systems, and that means recurring revenue streams, operational risk, and long-term capital commitment. For creators and content producers, this story is rich. It blends space tech romance with commercial realism. For the investor audience, it's a reminder that frontier industries shift from novelty to structure. Yet every big leap comes with risk. The margin for error in orbit is small. Launch delays, station deployment issues, crew safety, regulatory regimes, and market uptake all create potential friction. If a private station fails to attract clients, or if cost structures remain high, then investor patience may be tested. The transition from promised future to behind schedule is not uncommon in aerospace. So the question becomes, who can deliver at scale, on time, on budget, and how will they monetize it? Another layer to consider: data centers in space. Among the other payloads on this mission, several were dedicated to satellite platforms and data infrastructure experiments. The idea of orbitally hosted data workloads, whether for AI, edge computing, or global connectivity, is becoming less speculative and more strategic. For companies looking to serve global cloud clients, latency, coverage, and security advantages might drive demand. Space becomes not just a destination but part of the network. As we look ahead, here are some watch points worth tracking. First, the deployment timeline for Haven 1 and any announced commercial clients. If a launch date is confirmed and customers signed, the narrative strengthens. Second, how rideshare markets evolve. If Falcon 9 continues achieving high flight cadence, cost per kilogram drops and opens new business models. Third, the regulatory environment for private orbital habitats. Governments will need to clarify jurisdiction, safety standards, crew health, abort paths, and liability. Fourth, investor valuations in companies tied to commercial space stations and orbital logistics. Are they pricing in the scale cap or still relying on novelty? In my view, this mission marks the moment where space access begins to evolve into space utility. Access is the first step. Utility is the business model. The difference defines whether companies thrive or disappear. For your audience, whether fellow creators, investors, or curious watchers of the skies, this is not simply a rocket launch story, it's a preamble to the next infrastructure wave, orbit. To conclude, SpaceX's Falcon 9 launch with Haven Demo and multiple satellites represents a tangible milestone for commercial space stations and a probe into how we monetize orbit in this decade. The technology is proving itself, the concept is scaling, and the business model is beginning to shape. We are moving from what if to what's next. Thank you for tuning in this evening. I'm Alessio, stay observant, stay inquisitive, and remember, when we look up at a rocket plume, we might also be looking at tomorrow's network node.